Hello, everybody. Duke here, back for another episode of Victoria 2. I believe this is episode 34, not positive. But today, what we're going to do is pretty much, since our last war with Britain, we got ourselves all of Canada, British Canada, not the places they released, Quebec, Newfoundland, Columbia, but that's okay. We'll go to war with them at another time to free them from the British menace. From their British puppet overlords, of course, you know. You see, now in-universe, mind you, of course, I'm gonna be a little weird, but in-universe, we liberated all the Canadians, and as you could see, I mean, the Canadians decided to join the United States of America, so while in reality we just happened to annex them and use an exploit in the game, but it's not entirely cheating, so why not? This episode, what we're gonna do is, well, this episode, what I'm going to do is pull back all my troops from elsewhere, reorganize them, make sure, maybe unmobilize, and then we're going to go to war with Mexico. I don't know if it's this episode or the next episode, but we are going to go to war with Mexico for our rightful land. You know, we're going to go for our rightful land in Mexico, our states of California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, and the rest of Texas. Of course, the Mexicans are not going to like us for this. Right now we have good relations, so we have to decrease those. Well, actually, we don't have great relations, but we can never be allied with Mexico because we have cores on their land, or we own cores of theirs, which is Texas. But that's okay with us. Politically, I'm going to keep increasing relations with all the great power allies of ours. Let us see. Or let me see. I'm going to put all my troops from Greece back on a ship. Why is that ship not big enough? Dude, I know I have a second transport fleet that I'm going to have to use. Where are they? These guys can all travel back to here, to the States. Who are those guys? Quebec Red Guards. That's fine, actually. I hope the Quebec Red Guards succeed, honestly. Anyways, I'm going to also demobilize, like I said, and I'm going to find my fleet here. Coast of Iceland. That's gotta be it. Yeah, okay. Oh, geez. Well, let's see. One steamer ship is kind of in deep, dire straits. How's our economy's okay. It's not great. Now that the war's over, we can go back to reducing the tax back to like 90% or so. And yeah, just for now, I don't know how much we're going to be able to raise it or increase it later. I do need to increase administration and education again, and I can decrease military spending. Japan wants an alliance back. I definitely agree with that. Okay, that's good. Let's decrease our land unit spending to 50 for now. And this can stay on 65, our naval spending, because constructions can go to 50 as well. Because we're not at war just yet. And even if when we go to war with Mexico, I don't think we'll require that much. We're still losing a tremendous amount of money. Alliance from Venezuela. I think once I demobilize and get my men back, we'll be able to decrease spending. Okay. So let's get these ships back here as soon as possible. Back to American land. Let's hope the Martha Washington can make it. Let's go to Halifax because it's like one of our closest ports. And then we'll drop the Martha Washington off there. Tunis has gone bankrupt. That's fine. I have no intention of warring with Tunis. Let's go to Baltimore with you. Actually, yeah, whatever. 23 ships there. Are these all mobilized units? No, this is an actual army. I have 16 units here. Why are there... They're only... No. Why in the world are they going to be split? Why would our troops be split there? That's what I don't get. Okay. It said they would be split, but there's... Okay. Let's get those other ships out of there. Not the 25. The 13. Oh, we're still playing. But yeah, let's get them out of there. Alliance from Colombia, of course. Generals passing away. Mills being produced. And with our 9 influence points, we're going to increase with... Oh, yeah, Germany and them hate us. Let's increase with Austria. Russia. Well... Oh, we're already allied with Italy. I forgot about that. Bukhara is actually growing a lot. I've never seen a Bukhara that big. Usually they're, these 2 northern states, I think. Oh no, they're these southern states, I guess. I have no idea, actually, where Bukhara usually is. It's... Oh yeah, it is the northern states, because the flag is the same. That's what I was looking for. They took most of Afghanistan. Wow, interesting. Anyways, I also wanted to increase with China, because we're at a negative 100, I noticed. And China isn't bad until they go communist. Then we're not going to ally with them. Once they westernize as well, they'll probably become a world power even without all of their substates. And then they have cores on all these substates, so they just go to war and conquer them. Unless they're allied to people, or which they're not right now. I'd love to sphere some of these guys. Can I sphere like Yunnan and... Can I sphere them? No, you can't. Their population is too high. Yunnan is too high. Guangxi, I know, is too high. How about Qinghai? I think all the ones that can be sphered are already sphered, probably. Yeah, so we can gain influence here. That's good. In Qinghai. Let's do that. Sweden. Decrease opinion of France. Yeah, that sounds good. Who else are we influencing? Egypt, let's decrease opinion of the United Kingdom. Mexico. You see, this is going to be a tricky thing. We need to make everyone hostile with Mexico. Because if not, if we don't do that, we're going to be in a world of pain, because they're going to... We have a truce for 5 years, in which time we cannot influence Mexico. So we have to... If we save up to 100, we can use our decrease opinion to bump one guy down in those 5 years. Or 2, technically. So, that's a good thing. Let's see. Oh, they're not a great power yet. Great. Japan is not a great power yet. Let's decrease France, sure. And we don't really need Japan in our sphere, I don't think we need to influence them. Yeah, sure. We're good, I think. We're not influencing those in America just because we don't... It's kind of annoying. Let's try and influence Dynam, aka Vietnam, why not? And Korea, I think, is... Yeah, let's influence Korea, too. There we go. Yeah, we'll ally the USCA. Sorry, I've gotten a slow start to this episode, not gonna lie. Dynam is... okay, whatever. Excellent. The old man in the sea. Let's pull all our troops back to the States here. And I'll put these guys near Mexico just because we're gonna attack Mexico soon enough. Wickedness must be stamped out. How many people live in Laredo in Mexican Texas? 2.2 thousand. Houston. These guys all... This is all coast. This is all good. I'm trying to figure out where to build a port, because if I build a port, before we conquer that, it'll be fine. Bureaucrats. I guess building a port here would be okay in Houston. Yeah, let's build it in Houston, I suppose. Double standard. Oh, tensions in Tonga, or Tonga region. This meant a currency system where both gold and silver ran as parallel monetary units. It ensured the state always to be able to produce cheap money, but the difference in price changes between the currencies could have grave effect for the individual citizen. Okay, whatever. We get more tax efficiency. That's good. Oh, and also, now with the Great War over, the Canadian states joining our Great Union, let's demobilize our armed forces. And that should help our economy a little bit. And we can make states. So, without further ado, we want to keep our outer areas protected, like I did here, because I didn't want to war with Canada. Now I don't think it's too much of an issue, actually, because we don't have to defend as much, but Montana is going to be... Well, let me count this real quick. Oh, we have a lot of states. 1, 2, 3, 14. Okay, so we have 36 states, including Panama and Washington, D.C. So 34 states, guess what? Make sure all of these are states. We're going to play, let our soldiers come back. And North Dakota and South Dakota shall become the 35th and 36th states. Alliance from Ecuador, of course. North Dakota granted statehood. South Dakota granted statehood on this 7th day of on Pearl Harbor Day, 1890. On December 8th, a bunch of radical changes after the war. Nebraska was already a state. Colorado was already a state. The territories of Montana and Wyoming were admitted on December 8th. Montana. Wyoming. There we go. Idaho. Now Washington and Oregon are the only non-states, and we'll wait a few years for them. And we can also create one in the Caribbean islands. But what's the rush? Our revolt risk, nobody's mad at us. Nobody has any militancy because we liberated them. Oh, of course New Brunswick does because we conquested them, but the others don't. So that's always a good sign. Administrative map mode. Our administration is terrible here, but how is our influence going? It's going okay, not as good as it could be. We have a strong Southern Democrat loyalty going in some of these states. I'm increasing in Kentucky. Yeah. We also need eventually the nationalities of this entire territory. All of Canada is Native American minor and Cree, a lot of Cree and French Canadian. Eventually that will all change as Americans move upwards, because we have like, you know, thousands of people that'll move upwards. So there we have that. Now where are our normal military units? Because we still have... Oh, now with our great economy, let's bump up education and administration all the way. Administration all the way really kills us. Man. We're still okay, but... Let's decrease... Oh, these are already on 50, so let's decrease the tax to 90%. So hopefully that'll help the people out a little bit. Not a whole lot, but... Where are our armies at? Are we creating an army? Our army units? Or oh, these are just the cavalry that we have left over from the mobilized units. That's okay. We have an army crossing across the sea. We have this army up in New Brunswick. I think the states that we're going to go for first are the Gold Rush state, of course, over here in Mexico. And Nevada, Utah. I don't know how many we're going to be able to get in one war, because, truth be told, as the years go by, the war score increases per state, so we might not be able to get all the states we want in one war. We can definitely get a nice chunk, though. And then we have 4... We only have 3 armies. We need to get on another one real quick. Our supply limit went up, and let's increase our point defense system. Actually, we need to get on industry and the others. Steel railroad. Let's get cheap steel. Mining and farming output's the best, sorry. Tensions dissipate in Oromia, which is in Africa. And let's get on building another unit of ships. I hope the Quebec Red Guards win, because that would take them out of Britain's sphere, I believe. I don't know if it'll stop them from being a satellite, but I have no idea. We'll have to see. I think it does, actually. So that'd be pretty cool. Let's have all of our units here meet in Disloyal Regiment. We must shoulder the responsibility in Churchill, Manitoba. Let them adapt. It's all the Cree. I mean, the U.S. is notoriously rude and mean against the Native Americans, so let's just follow that. They probably would have been against the Cree and the others as well if they had invaded Canada. And Marquette. And where's our last little army? It's all the way up there. Wow, okay. What I want to do, actually, this round is make a double-sized army. I cannot do that. Okay. Do we have a free ship? We do. Let's remove the Martha. Oh, the Martha Washington's okay. It's getting stuff back, so let's just put them there, and then we'll have our troops walk back. Actually, nah. We'll pull them right up and move them across the bay. Civil violence in Fiji, that's fine. And let's build a double-sized unit and put it right in Syracuse. Or wherever the heck. Basaso, Omaha. Omaha's okay. Build a double-sized unit here. Guards. I don't know why it's lagging a little bit whenever I go to record it. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know if it's apparent for you too. Like, I'm going up and down, up and down, up and down, but the game is like lagging a little bit. So for a normal unit, we have 2 guards. So let's build 4 guards. Sorry, I'm kind of like not focused. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 6 infantry from North America. 1. We want the highest number here possible on the right, because that gives us more troops. I think that's the amount of reinforcements available, right? This pop has 1,000 people and can support 1 brigade. So once you build 1 brigade, if you lose 1,000 men out of it, it pretty much you can't support it anymore with extra men, I don't think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Build some cannons. We usually have 4 cannons per group, so let's build 8. And they can have as many as we want, because they're all the way in the back row. Or as little amount of men, because they usually don't get as many casualties. I'm going to take that one off of Hawaii just because I don't want to have to go and pick them up. So let's get one from Kansas City. There we go. And we already have enough hussars. Now let's get the cuirassiers for it. We need 2 cuirassiers for it. Dixie and... Let's take the Dixie and Burlington and Lewiston. There we go. I believe we only need 2, because it's 1 for every 10, 1 of each. Ooh, the Netherlands wants an alliance. Sure. That's new and interesting. I want to be like, after these wars are done, I'm just done with the wars, pretty much. Not completely done, but I really, you know, want to be over with them as soon as possible. Omaha is where we're all meeting, so go up there. And our other units are down in Texas. Good. Supply limit, actually, put supply limit all the way back up if possible. It doesn't do that much difference, I don't think. Huh. everything's looking okay. I think Mexico has how many troops? Because the sooner we get our states from Mexico, the better. Mexico has 113 brigades. We have more than that, but... Oh, wow. Are they mobilized? Why does Mexico have 113 brigades, and where are they all hiding? Unless those are those 100... I can see the whole country. So either they're on the ships, or they're just there, but they're literally depleted. Because look at that. That red bar means they're out of strength, which means maybe that's all 100 brigades. They're just worn down from fighting rebels, and I don't know. Honestly, I think we can take whatever we want from Mexico right now, so I'm going to wage war on Mexico as soon as we can, because I have to do a decrease relations. I'm actually going to wait until we have like 100 in our relations thing to go to war with them, so it might be next episode, but we'll see. Let's make a couple of these colonies as well, like the Yukon. How are these all? These are all ready to become states. They're colonial provinces, except the Yukon. So let's make the Yukon into a colonial province. There we have it. Oh, we can make okay, gaslights. The introduction of gaslights meant that predefined areas like small rooms could be enlightened. This meant that people were no longer limited by sunrise and sunset. We can make Yukon into a state. That's because they're Yankee, I think, or Dixie rather. Wow, Dixie is pretty prominent in Alaska. One thing I hate is how Yankee and Native American are kind of close in color, but that's fine. Now I see Quebec and Newfoundland being a problem with population, but look at this. See, this is all Cree, but the population is under 1,000 per. Oh, this one has 4,000, but still. And down here is all Anglo-Canadian, and that's where they have more, 100,000 people. Yada yada yada. I forgot what I was looking up. That's sad. I kind of forgot entirely what I was looking up. Something about Mexico. I'm going to bring some of my ships here. Where are my naval units? Navies. Oh, let's land in there. And then he'll walk from there. So these are all transports. These are transport... Oh, wrong fleet. That's transports as well. The Baltimore fleet is going to stay in Baltimore. The Irish Sea. Oh, they're still over there from war. RIP. Well, Admiral Charles Blunt is dead, unfortunately. Balboa is our corps, which is in Panama. That's great. So these guys are going to come back to Norfolk. They'll be waiting. Impressionist art, we got some prestige. I'm actually going to take this outdated fleet over to this coast, Mexico's coast, and wherever their army is, or their navy, right there. And southern, these two need to come back as well. One will sit in Baltimore, and one will sit in Long Island. Well, actually, Long Island will just be the transport ships, I think. That sounds like a great idea to me. This one will go sit in, I don't know where. How about Halifax? That sounds like a good port. And now with Canada being under our control as a state, because it was a state pretty much, it's a state now for us too. Let's expand the naval base. Let's expand, what can we expand? All the railroads are level 3, which is good, which I'd like to actually change. I want to upgrade railroads next time. We have a bankrupt factory in New Brunswick, a bunch of unemployed people, but I can't really do anything to change that until next. Actually, I can. In New Brunswick. Oh, 8,000 unemployed people in New Brunswick. Let's open up that factory then. I can't add or remove factories until I get a Southern Democrat government, though, which is what I'm really hoping to do. And then I can just go through all the factories and be annoyed and just put what's there. For example, I could put something for coal, all the coal-related factories in Pennsylvania, because Pennsylvania has a lot of coal and iron. So, well, so does West Virginia. It's all coal, so I would put coal-related factories there too. But and all the wheat factories, or all the I could put liquor factories in all the wheat-bearing states, lumber factories in New England, etc., etc. I really like to do that and just organize it, and then we get bonuses, production bonuses for that too, which is great in my opinion. So how is this doing? It looks like they increased relations with us again, but looks like time is almost up, guys. So, oh, the Great War. What is that? I can intervene on either side. What is this? I didn't even know there was a Great War going on. So France and Austria are fighting against Russia and Bavaria. Looks like France is winning because France by itself is probably stronger than Russia and Bavaria. Russia wants Württemberg to acquire Austrian Württemberg, and Baden to acquire Baden, two of the former German states, and they want the Great War capitulation, which is obligatory. They want to admit hegemony to Bavaria. Austria wants to acquire Franken from Bavaria. I think that's from Bavaria, I don't know. And they want to acquire Bavarian Rhineland. That's interesting. So they're fighting over... France wants that tiny little square of land right there. And Austria wants... what? They want the entire northern state. Jeez Louise. France might be the ones that want that as well. Let's check. No, Austria wants it. So they're just going to be separated. So Germany could, in theory, take it because whatever. But they wouldn't be able to get to it unless... oh, Austria has Baden for some reason. Okay. So I guess they would connect to it right there. That would be a really weird, ugly map, having Austria go like that, though, and then that whole... oh, man. That is really ugly. Germany must really be weak in this game, because they're, like, compared to France, France is just steamrolling them. Because Germany has cores on all of this stuff. They have cores on Rhineland. They don't have cores on the Alsace-Lorraine, but they do have cores on Baden. No, they don't even. Wow. They have cores on Rhineland, though, that's for sure. And they have cores on... they skipped... okay. They're the North German Federation. I don't know. But they still have cores on Rhineland. I would think they'd have cores on the others, but only the German Empire does. Ooh, Russia's storming into Austria, though. That's pretty interesting to see. But we have an ally in Italy, so that's what matters. If something happens over here, we can always intervene if we need to. And Italian Africa is right next to us, so if maybe they can help us in Africa eventually. Anyways, that's all the time we have for this episode. I'm sorry we didn't get to start war with Mexico yet, but I started to reorganize our troops. Our economy's looking good. We're building a new unit in Omaha. Another unit. Double unit, so the biggest army yet. We added 4 new states to the Union, North and South Dakota, Montana, and Wyoming. We made the Yukon a territorial province, colonial province. And next episode we're going to war with Mexico for some if not all of our rightful states. I think it'll just be 1 or 2. It depends on the war score, how much it allows, because as I said, over the decades, the amount of war score goes up, and you can have the max war score of 100, or the limit. So if California is like 60 or 70, which I think it might be at this point, we might only be able to get 1 or 2 states. So we'll have to, I'll check them all out before we go to war. Actually, can I check them out now? I cannot check them out now. I'll decrease relations, though. But I'll check them out before we go to war and decide exactly what we're going to take. And I suspect we'll have to go back for a second war with Mexico, but that's okay. That'll be another episode. I hope you enjoyed this one. This has been Duke. Sorry for the slow start, but I just had to kind of get back into things. But I definitely enjoy the series. I hope you do too. If you do, feel free to tell me in the comments. I definitely enjoy reading them and answering any questions you may have or suggestions. I mean, though I've played this for about 9 months or so, there's still things I don't know, like strategies I don't know about or things, I haven't tried. So if you have any Victoria 2 strats or suggestions, let me know those in the comments too, and I'll definitely try them out. Anyways, I'm sorry for blabbering. I will see you all next time. Goodbye.